KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Itanu program. Cars Plus, visit today during our spring sales event. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, proposed legislation to legalize adult use of marijuana on Guam gets its day in a hearing at the Guam Congress building. Plus, investigators nowhere closer to finding the driver that hit and killed a 50-year-old man last month in Mighty. And big decisions of expansion for the island's landfill need to be made. Nestor Lecanto with more in the discussion from inside the federal courtroom. Good evening. Guahusinik Delgado. Legalize it or criticize it? Debate sparked at the Guam Congress building as a public hearing rolled out today on Bill 32. It's being called the Guam Cannabis Industry Act of 2019 that would make it legal for adults to use the substance. Chris Barnett reports.
Senator Clint Rigel's adult use cannabis bill, the hot topic in Agotnia today. Rigel touting the economic windfall he says legal cannabis would bring Guam. Opponents of the measure, citing concerns about the teen use of marijuana increasing if cannabis is legalized. Senator Rigel countering with research and saying that idea is a pipe dream.
Definitely there has not been an increase in teenage use in those states that have legalized it.
Some opponents citing a need to hear from the law enforcement and health communities, while Senator Rigel tells KUAM News he welcomes that discussion and he's working towards that. With local teacher Paul Zerzan testifying in firm opposition of cannabis legalization.
It does not make people smart, okay? It makes people stupid. That's why they call it dope. Marijuana has no medicinal value other than like medicinal whiskey. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good by poisoning your brain.
Zerzan eventually becoming irate at the hearing and had to be bounced out.
He accused me of being stoned during the middle of the hearing, which is absolutely 100% false. And then he just kept calling me a liar. I kept asking him to please keep the discussion civil. He wouldn't listen, so I asked that he be removed.
Reverend Tax Director Daphne Shimizu, in her testimony this afternoon, expressed concerns about proceeds from legal cannabis not being able to be held in FDIC-approved banks and admitted her department would face challenges in collecting the 15% excise tax mandated in the bill. The bill would create a cannabis control board that would have a year to create rules and regulations for adult use cannabis, which would be legal for adults 21 and over if the bill passes. Will Parkinson used his testimony time to clap back at the Guam Visitors Bureau, which had previously said cannabis legalization would hurt Guam's image as a family-friendly tourist destination.
If you really want to make Guam family-friendly, do something about all the bars, brothels, and strip clubs, then talk to me about being family-friendly. Until then, they could spare me their crocodile tears.
Senator Rigel said one of the takeaways from morning testimony was that opinions on marijuana are a little outdated.
I do think most of the concerns that people have voiced are unfounded. I do believe they're based on a lot of the old concepts of cannabis that during the time when cannabis was demonized through the Prohibition era. So I think a lot of the people who are against it still harbor a lot of those old feelings and some of the old data that's simply just not true anymore.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Thanks, Chris. Well, Governor Lulian Guerrero has said she supports the measure's intent. A notice has been filed in the district court for Jimmy Fison's intent to enter a guilty plea for charges related to possession and intent to distribute cocaine. According to court documents, it was in May last year the Medina Drug Task Force and DEA were conducting an investigation into the trafficking of cocaine into the territory. As part of the sting operation, Fison was caught with a digital scale, drug paraphernalia, and almost 40 net grams of cocaine that he was carrying in a bag. Fison's attorney has requested for a hearing. A driver that hit and killed a 50-year-old man in Mighty last month remains on the run. Family members reportedly identified the victim as Joseph Perencio. Police say he was walking along Route 8 in Mighty when he was hit by a car. Authorities say the driver took off. Funeral services for the victim is set for March 11th at St. Anthony's Church in Tamuning. Now investigators continue to ask the community for help to find his killer. Anyone with information can call police, Guam Crime Stoppers, at 477-HELP. A man facing vehicular homicide charges hears his fate in local court today. Afio Cox is sentenced to 7 years in prison with credit for time served. This means he will spend the next 2 years in prison. KUAM files show it was in 2011. Cox lost control of his car in Jigo and hit a concrete pole. The passenger inside his car, Maria Guevara, died in that crash. His blood alcohol content at the time was above the legal limit at 0.106. Cox was charged with vehicular homicide and driving under the influence with injuries. 2 more cases involving the so-called Port 7 employees have been sent back to the Civil Service Commission for further review. The cases involve Francine Rocio and Leonora Leon Guerrero, who were fired for their role in the illegal workers' compensation award to former port marketing manager Bernadette Meno back in 2013. In an order handed down Thursday, Judge Vernon Perez found that whereby the Supreme Court addressed the same issue in a similar case, he would also remand the cases to the CSC for a threshold determination of the proper standard of review. In the previous similar case, the port had successfully argued that the CSC used the wrong standard when it decided that the port did not meet its burden of proof in terminating the employees. In short, the cases go back to the CSC for reconsideration of the standard. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy. To the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
It's Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary, and to celebrate, we are giving away a new Kia Soul LX, a Mazda 3i Sport, the popular Honda Civic LX, and 30 Manila Flyaways during our 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway. Win 3 great cars from Triple J Auto Group, 30 Flyaways from Philippine Airlines, plus thousands of prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker when you play Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
You can make each connection count with IT&E Prepaid. Talk, text, and share with the best price, daily plans, and rates. Stay in touch with loved ones, whether they're in Tumon, Garapan, San Jose, or even San Paulo, on the widest network in the Marianas. And reach out to friends and followers all over the world with the fastest, most reliable 4G LTE data. IT&E, explore your world.
Welcome back. Well, the governor has signed into law a bill that requires government negotiators for the employee health insurance contract to consider only providers who include both civilian hospitals in their coverage. In a statement, the governor said, quote, employees should be allowed to accept that their health insurance covered care at whichever hospital they may unexpectedly find themselves. The measure was strongly opposed by Take Care Insurance, which is the only provider that does not have a contract with GRMC. Take Care claims the private hospital's high rates will drive up costs and premiums. GRMC disputes that, saying its negotiated rates are competitive. The bill was passed unanimously despite a fiscal note stating that the cost impacts could not be determined because the rates were still subject to negotiation. GovGuam could regain control over the island-wide solid waste system by April 30th. That's the target date for transition announced by the district court during a hearing today. But even before that, GovGuam is facing some urgent decisions about expansion. Nestor Kanto explains.
The existing cells at the Luzon landfill could exceed capacity as early as next summer. So ahead of the planned handover, Judge Gatewood wants to know GovGuam's plan to construct a new cell. Governor Leon Guerrero, who attended the status hearing, says her fiscal team will explore the options: a bond, federal grants, or USDA financing.
I think they're going to come up with about $23 or $24 million, and that's very doable. And of course, if we have a secured financial payment source, which in this case will probably be the tipping fees, then it's going to be more favorable in terms of interest rates.
And she doesn't think it will have an impact on customer rates.
But we'd have to look at first what our fund balance is and what the cash flow is for our solid waste. And then go from there. The
feds took control of the solid waste system after years of inaction by GovGuam, which was cited for violations of the Clean Water Act because of contamination of the Lonfit River by the ORDOT dump. Judge Gatewood appointed the receiver 11 years ago, and now that ORDOT has been capped, the leachate under control, and Luzon open, she's ready to hand the system back, but perhaps not completely. For example, GSWA Board Chairman Andrew Gale suggested the court drop the requirement for a trustee to monitor revenue meant for the post-closure rehabilitation of ORDOT. The governor agrees.
And the concern with the receiver is that the government could take those funds and divert it to other operational expenses or other programs that is not related to the Guam Solid Waste program, and I certainly will not do that. I will not jeopardize or compromise anything that is good for our people of Guam.
Judge Gatewood said she will consider dropping the trustee. She had also hoped the hearing would be the last for the receivership, but set another one for next month to address the new cell construction. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Now to that rather upsetting video we showed you on primetime last night. The video being passed around was of a woman throwing trash into the sea. Fittingly, it spawned a tidal wave of comments and shares from people that couldn't believe what they were seeing, and they haven't stopped talking about it since. Here's Jason Salas from our digital desk with your take and how we're celebrating your village during Message Tomorrow.
Hey, what's up everybody? Jason here in your digital desk, and we had a ton of comments on this story right here. Of course, very, very shocking, very alarming, as apparently you guys were all sharing this in WhatsApp groups. You guys were sending it to our Facebook inbox. A woman was actually caught on a public beach throwing cardboard waste into the ocean. Now, we on Guam here, we love the environment, we love our island. Everybody was freaking out about this, but some people were actually saying, hey, let's not be judgy. Let's go see what's going on. Maggie Tressler Davis says there was a lady that had commented on the original post that had been saying this lady was not in her right mind, I think she means. She seems like she knew what she was doing and didn't care. A lot of people were saying, was she in somehow not well? Was she somehow mentally ill? We're gonna follow up on that and see what's going on with that. Also, Shelly was saying that's just disrespectful and shady. Why walk all that way to the water instead of the trash bin? Kudos to the guys that cleaned it up. That was, of course, the two gentlemen from Joe's Jet Ski, and we found out afterwards LMS actually moved it off the shore. So nice job there. There's also a really interesting comment from Lanny, who says simply, "This is why we can't have nice things." How internet of you. That's really awesome. Okay, so we've also got something I want to show you guys. Something going on really, really cool. Okay, we have our Village Vibes series. This is something we're doing for the entire month of March for Mr. Moore. We're going to celebrate every single municipality, every village on Guam. We're going to show you guys love. And today we did Dedido, the big village. And what's so cool about this is we've actually compiled some really cool factoids, the history of the village, some really neat things. But we need your help. We need you guys to actually jump in, send us your comments. If you've lived in Dedido, if you used to live there and you live in the States or somewhere else in the world, represent your village. Let us know why your village is awesome. So Dedido was today. Chris_075 says, simply can't beat it. And I would not argue with that. Okay, Dedido was today. Real quick, we got the very first day we did Hagana. And who does not know the unmistakable picture of Chief Kapuat downtown? As is this gentleman at Chodi's Mart. They got some of the best food on the island, and everybody was liking this picture. Everybody says Hagana #1. So that is what's going on. A little snapshot of what's going on the KUAM News social platforms. We'll see you next time.
Well, have you had any issues at any of the island's public parks? One senator is hoping to better the situation that has many of you frustrated with the current conditions. Senator James Moylan introduced Bill 58, the Public-Private Collaboration for the Maintenance of Public Parks Act. It would allow the Department of Parks and Rec to enter into contractual relationships with private entities to manage public parks. This includes the maintenance of bathrooms, lights, and other equipment, provide security, and keep the parks clean. The relationship would also allow the entity to invest with any infrastructure as deemed necessary to ensure that the visitors and island residents enjoy the facilities. It's also noted that the Transition Advisory Committee did recommend Governor Leon Guerrero to reduce the operational and maintenance costs of the park system through park adoption, public-private partnership agreements, and outsourcing of services. Well, the Guam Memorial Hospital's Volunteers Association is celebrating its 54th anniversary charity ball next month. This special event helps to raise funds for vital equipment for the island's only public hospital. This year's theme is Giving is Healing. Joyce Crisostomo is the association's president.
It really is a significant idea to continue the work that GMH Volunteer Association continue to do every day. And it's not only for our charity ball, but every day we seek to purchase equipments that might be needed throughout the year. And so we do that as well. And so Sidzus Masi for all of your kindness, and please find it in your heart and dig deep in your pockets, because I know you can make it happen.
The event will be held at the Dusitani Resort, Guam on April 6th. For more information and if you want to help, you can call 689-0970 or email crisostomo.jennifer@gmail.com. We'll have more news in a moment.
Make every day a plus.
Looking for a great deal on a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Then get to Cars Plus in Mighty now for our spring sales event, like a new Jeep Compass Sport, $166 per paycheck, or a new Chrysler Pacifica LX, $220 per paycheck, or save $8,500 on a new Ram 1500. How about a new Jeep Wrangler Sport, only $274 per paycheck? Low 1.99% financing is available on approved credit. Save thousands during our spring sales event going on now at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Move all day and I never get tired. Move all day and I never give up. Move all day and I never get tired. Move all day and I never give up. Won't stop till I get that. I won't stop. Won't stop till I get that. Till I get that. Get that. Won't stop till I get that. I won't stop. Won't stop till I get that. Till I get that. Get that. Move all day and I never get tired. Move all day and I never give up. Won't stop till I get that. I won't stop. Won't stop till I get that. Won't stop till I get that. Till I get that. Get that. Get that.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. On the way, youth wrestling and girls middle school soccer. But first off, basketball highlights from the Bud Light Golden Hoops Classic played at the Tamuning Gym. Check it out. Plan B Wolfpack and the Tamuning Typhoons taken to the court at the Tamuning Gym in the co-ed recreation division. Corner 3 drops in for the Wolfpack. Typhoons with the quick inbound. Shot rolls off the rim. Faith Thompson comes up with the rebound and misses the putback. Lee gets the one-handed shot to go. Looking like a game of 21 with the tip in. Leonard Uggan with the pass to Sam Nalta, who gives it up to McGrady Dewis for the short jumper. Faith bringing the ball down court for Tamuning. Almost gets ripped by Uggan. Regains possession and takes it up for another bucket. Wolfpack with the double-digit lead late in the ball game. Xander Sanchez no good with the layup attempt. Brandon Solik has his back, though. Solik with the easy follow-up for 2. Plan B Wolfpack got the win 69-46 over the Tamuning Typhoons. In the other co-ed rec matchup, Team Savage beat out the Talofofo Ballers 67-55. Switching over to some wrestling news, 3-time world champion Miyu Yamamoto is giving back to Guam's youth at Custom Fitness in Anigua. Yamamoto helps coach young wrestlers as young as 5 years old every Wednesday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. She wants to help grow the sport on island and introduce the sport to the younger generation.
We just start the kids wrestling class here because we need more wrestler. Obviously, we have only couple team in Guam, and they start with young kids, young age, and then wrestling is develop a lot of health, strong body, and it's good for adjust another sports. So a lot of kids start wrestling and they go to soccer or MMA, jiu-jitsu. So it's really good base. So I think wrestling is really good for every sport.
Miyu won world championships in Tokyo in 1991. Sofia in 1994 and Moscow in 1995. She is also a mixed martial arts fighter holding a 4-3 record, currently on a 3-fight win streak, going undefeated in 2018.
My goal is I'm gonna start teaching from the young kids, young age, and then make them go to the world, the Olympics, So I want to make world champions and Olympic champions.
In soccer news, the Vicente S.A. Benavente Middle School Roadrunners won the 12th annual Sugar and Spice Middle School Girls Soccer Festival title over the St. John's Knights 3-0. The festival is a grassroots event supported by Japan Football Association and part of Guam Football Association's month-long celebration of AFC Women's Football Day. Cassandra Quito scored a hat trick for the Roadrunners in the championship match.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Morning, 2 coffees and 4 orders of those new donut sticks.
You must really love these donut sticks.
I do, but they're not for me. They're for them. I will take a coffee, though.
Introducing new cinnamon sugar donut sticks from McCafe, made fresh every morning. It's a little sweet to go with your coffee.
Now there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Guam. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with one of our residential loan experts. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
Introducing Triple J's Online Shopper, the new, faster, easier way to purchase your next vehicle. Explore hundreds of new and used vehicles in full 360-degree view. Get pre-approved instantly from the comfort of your home or office. Personalize your own finance terms and get top market value on your trade-in in just a few quick, easy steps. Buy with confidence from start to signature, and we'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Have a question? Our sales team is just a chat away for instant assistance. Click, pick, drive. Complete the entire car buying process with Triple J's Online Shopper and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today.
Can I just get it right back? And here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club list. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating this March 7th. Happy birthday, Cheyenne of Villa Borja. Happy 7th birthday, Love the Family. And happy belated birthday going out to Jude Paul Sublon. If you want to be on that Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club list, it's so simple. Just register on KUAM.com. Be sure to include your celebrant's photo, name, and birthday. And that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Good night.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.